Andy is ready. Let's go ahead and get ourselves counted down for game number 1 of Division 1A action between Andy and Portal. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Introducing our players on the left. A roller out of the United States with a PB of 11,966,000. He is a 3-time CTL champion. Welcome in, Pixelandy. And on the right, a roller out of Kazakhstan with a PB of 5,523,000. It's Panic Portal. And we have the good luck bits from Peter in chat. Thank you very much for that. And here in the early going, both players kind of got into a little early situation, but are both out of it at this point. And give about a Tetris advantage in favor of Portal. So some good looking stacks to start here after that. While these players are plugging away at level 18 here, I'll take this time to remind you that down there in the lower right-hand corner, we have our Matcherino prize pool listed. Exclamation point Matcherino will give you a link where you can go ahead and check on the prize pool, donate if you'd like. I believe we probably have coupon codes left. I just can't tell because my browser's not working right. But yeah, go ahead, check that out. So we get the top 4 players, a bit of the prize pool. Yeah, that is 26 coupon codes remaining. Wow. Chat, we need to have a talk here. That's a lot of coupon codes. There's more people than that watching right now. All those coupon codes could be gone if you click on that link and claim your contribution code. 280 for Portal, 225 for Andy. Portal with the better efficiency so far. And honestly, if last week was any indication, he's going to need it. Going to get that Z spin in there as Andy is working through some traffic. Does get a spin as well, but a couple holes in the stack means that this drought is going to hurt. But some perfect burns there. Like, those holes on the left were like landmines. Andy didn't want any part of them. Did not want to step on them. So made sure that he burnt rows that didn't include them. That is a very hard thing to try to do. You'll get the bar over for the Tetris, but... Oh, Gilded Lizard not only dropping in 25 cents with the coupon code, but also the $10 direct contribution, getting us up to $56.25 here in the early stages of Season 30. That will stay open all through the playoffs. So, still many weeks for you to get something in. Peter says, cleanest Pixelandy stack. That's definitely got a little out of sorts, we'll say. Was Andy looking to just probably burn this down or maybe go one off the bottom left well here? But this is really cost him $473 out of Tetris to go to $495 for Portal, $348 for Andy. And just not really finding the right pieces to get out of things. Just having to make these little inefficiencies, such as that hole in column 7 that he's about to burn away. Whereas Portal has had to do significantly less of that. Portal with a bar over 4. The Tetris will hit the half max at 111 lines. Immediate misshift on the T, though. That's going to be annoying. And this is actually going to take some time to get out of now. So a little bit of runway for Andy to potentially pull some points back here. Portal's just having a hard time figuring out how to solve this at the moment. And it's just getting higher and higher. Level 19 is right around the corner. This is danger zone. And this isn't going to be cleared before level 19 starts, I can tell you that much. So here we go. Portal into level 19 at 537. What goes left? The bar goes left. And Portal will stay alive after a scary transition into level 19. He's got 545, 485 for Pixelandy, as we're off and running on the 19 speeds. Some more Tetris coming down, and we got a Tugi spin here in Division 1. I got a Tugi spin in my match the other day, or today rather. It was fun. $680 for Portal, $568 for Andy. How's this guy sitting? The toes of his feet are facing towards the camera. Probably cross-legged or something. I find it amusing that he runs the cable between his big toe and his second toe. That would drive me up a wall. I have enough of a hard time having it against my leg. Tetris for Portal, 805. Andy, 686. So a pretty sizable lead for Portal here, as we're halfway through the 19 speeds. At level 29, we will increase the speed again and play another 100 lines on that speed before we'll increase the speed again, and players will find themselves unable to play at that speed. And we have Tyler in the house. Get those Tyler Ketchup packet redemptions ready. Because I am sure he will fulfill each and every one of them. 969 for Portal, 852 for Andy. Level 27. And weathering a small drought there. There's a Tetris for both players. Portal's into 28 with that. Andy again going to be in a drought. That will end rather quickly. There's a Tetris. Max out for Panic Portal. Another Tetris to go into 29 at 1,085,000. And away we go. Oh, the hang from Portal. And there's going to be no way out of that. Andy, you're in a chase down. You need a 98. Andy not in the best of spots either, but is getting this down. All right, Andy is back to the bottom. We'll be going dirty here. Gets the dirty Tetris. 14,000 points to go. And one more line, just like that. Andy is good for game number 1. All right, both players are ready. Game number 2. Let's get them counted down. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Oh, he just double flipped the T, so there you go. Flip accomplished. That's not a Vitz, however, with the correct pieces, it could become one. But he's not going to slide the T in there and make that a Vits. Will bang down a Tetris. Andy with 2 as well to start. Yeah, there are a number of people in the scene that I know that would have tucked one of those T's into that hole to make it a Vits. Just to make it a Vits. Not because it's the most efficient thing to do, but because it's a Vits. The one-line burn from Portal is the difference. But there's going to be more lines burnt in a moment. Andy is perfect through 5 here. Another Tetris for Portal. Portal didn't really want to take that double, but couldn't find a better adjustment. Meanwhile, Andy's got 10 in a row. Stark contrast from game number 1. Portal getting high up on the board here as we are in the middle of a 20-plus piece drought. Andy is going to have to burn. So that bar is just not coming anytime soon. Portal bangs down a Tetris there, is only back by 13,000, all things considered. Not bad, given how this started. And Andy will bang down a Tetris. Tetris is a survival horror game. This is true. This is very horrific. Tetris for both players. 309 for Andy, 275 for Portal. Another Tetris for Andy. Interesting setup at the bottom here for Portal. But gets it done. Nice spin of the L, followed by the square burn. Works for me. Oh, that L hang, though, that's going to be annoying. And possibly even dangerous if he's not careful. Gonna get the bar down. And that's going to be a dirty Tetris. Exactly what he needed. Simul Tetris there. By the way, this is only the second ever meeting between Andy and Portal. They last played, I believe, in 2023. In February at the, or in September rather, at the CTM Masters event, where Andy won 3-0. The prior year in December, they met as well. Andy won 3-1 there, so. Been almost 2 years since they've played, which is kind of hard to believe. Another Tetris for Andy. 543 for Andy, 470 for Portal. As level 19 is very close. Another Tetris for Portal. He has one Tetris from making it into level 19. There it is. 519 for Portal. And it's going to have an Awful start to this. Andy will pass the 600 mark and still has one more Tetris before the 19 transition. And there is level 19, 636. Andy ahead by a whole 100,000 points and behind by 12 lines. That's a really good place to be. And Andy will keep scoring. But Portal has fixed up the board, is starting to score again. This is what you're looking for. Tetris for both players. 739 Andy, 620 Portal. Andy with another Tetris there. Portal getting really high up on the board. 27-piece drought, not doing him any favors here. And it's even longer than that. Portal couldn't flip the T twice. And is going to top out at 628. There's the ready from Andy. Let's go ahead and get these two counted down for game number 3. Will it be a sweep from Andy? Or will Portal grab the broom out of his hands? We'll find out in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Where's Andy making his return to the open play style, as we call it, after pretty much almost a year away from the rolling scene. Having recovered from an injury and changing the way he plays. No longer using fingers to roll, but instead knuckles. And so far, it's been working out for him. He is currently undefeated this season. Think that knuckle rolling might take over gradually? I don't know. I think it depends on the player. I mean, we'll have to see. It was always said that rolling was an injury-free playstyle at first, but then we found out, no, actually it's not. Andy with the lead in the early going, 187 to 173. Another Tetris for Andy. Ooh, getting up pretty high here is Portal, but does get the bar for the Tetris. Took care of the overhangs and is now just trying to get something, trying to get a bar for the right. It's just not coming. Finally, a bar shows up. There's the Tetris. Moodus is here to watch CTL Triple X. Think you're at the wrong place for that, Moo. Andy getting to a spot here. This is actually a little concerning. Does get the bar for the left. That's going to help tremendously here. Now it just has to get a clean down stack. And Andy will do just that. 343 for Portal. Add a Tetris. 312 for Andy. And another Tetris for Andy. So Andy still has a less than one Tetris pace lead on the account that he is 3 lines behind. but it is essentially neck and neck. Tetris for Portal. There's a Tetris for Andy, 2 in a row, in fact. And there's the real-time lead. 380 to 366 for Andy. Well, bad time for a drought here for Portal is he is high up on the screen, but is getting some really nice burns going here. And bang, Tetris for Portal. Very efficient with the burning there. But now is getting into a little bit of trouble. Andy will get a dirty Tetris, but now has a couple holes in the stack to deal with. We'll get another Tetris, and we'll see how he chooses to deal with these holes. Just going to go ahead and open it up. And look at this, 457 for Andy, 456 for Portal. Difference being is that Andy is 6 lines back. And Portal, who's been playing 1 row up for a while here. Trying to stay efficient and get these last 3 Tetrises, but not going to be able to do that. I'm just going to take the burn. Just looking for the bar now. A bar which is taking its sweet time. Just going to triple in. 533 for Portal. Still waiting on this bar. And finally we'll get it for the Tetris. Andy at 573. Will have the better transition. And Andy now taking burns as well. He'll go in at 576. Tetris for Andy. Portal, another Tetris there. And Portal still playing 1 row up. That hole in column 4 has been there for a while. It's just a matter of when is Portal going to decide it's time to get rid of that. Or does it stay there the whole game? Who knows? Tetris for Portal, 729. 15 lines in the future and only a 40,000 point lead to show for it. This is where he gets rid of it. There it is. Tetris for Portal, down column 4. And another Tetris, very good solve of that hole. Another Tetris for Portal. Andy is also scoring Tetrises, but is still back by about a Tetris and a half, but is also back by 13 lines. Plenty of time to make that back up. Portal into level 25 at 881. Another Tetris there. Bar over Tetris for Portal. Andy with a dirty left well right now. He's not getting the piece, so he's not really messing around with it. Just going to take the burns. Gets the bar over Tetris, 903. He's only on level 25 right now. And Portal's into 27. Max out for Portal. On a level 27. Andy looking to get it into 27 with the right pieces here. Is set up, ready to go. A little bit of a drought here, though. We'll just take the triple in, and we'll get it on 27 as well. 1,132,000 transition for Panic Portal. It's off and running on the 29 speeds. We'll get that Tetris. Missed a 5-tap to the left, but it's low enough that... Ooh, okay. Now it's frame perfect. He gets the frame perfect 5-tap. Portal will stay alive. 1,259,000 for Portal. 1,161,000 for Andy into level 29. All right. Game on. Portal says my run does not end here. Portal with the lead, but less than a Tetris separate them. And it's now a almost 20 line advantage for Pixelandy here. Oh, this is getting spicy. No bar. No bar. Gets the bar over for the Tetris. Portal, though, can't get anything else to go. So Andy is in a chase down. You need D26. Andy gonna have to do a couple tucks here. Doesn't get them all. Now Andy is in that drought that killed Portal. It wasn't set up for a Tetris, so the bar didn't score. But Andy can just line this out. But why line it out when you can bang down a Tetris and take the win? Andy, undefeated through 2 sets. Andy looking to try to take this to the house here. Gets a Tetris there. Anyone else notice that the next box was wrong for one of those pieces? He's going to top out. Andy's lowest in natural top out of the season is 1,421,000. There you have it. Andy, here's your winner. Andy, get back here because we have this. We have this. There he is. Andy with the 2 thumbs up. He's got the belt in the background. I'm sure the tee's back there somewhere. Yeah, there it is, up on the shelf. A whole bunch of other medals too. GG's, Andy!
Yeah, it looks like my stream is at 1 bar of internet connection. Let's get started with game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Gotta be J dependent with level long bar. Gotta be set up for a dirty Tetris. Can he get the long bar time, but doesn't hit the set of taps to the left side, and we'll top out at 700,000. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not good. Needs to hit a T-spin, hits a T-spin, needs a long bar to the left side. Needs to hit a set of burns with the flat pieces, and that is gonna do it! Oh, and Tetris time in a very messy stack, and that's gonna do it! We got it ready from both players still, so let's get started with game number 1. And Kirby in a bit of trouble here, forced to a couple of burns. Actually couldn't hit the 4-tap with the square. Oh, misdrops the S piece once again, needs to hit a 5-tap, and misdrops the square, and that's gonna do it for Dangler. Right side bangs out of Tetris, 647. Oh, and Dangler has a long bar dependency very high on the board. Oh, it's not getting long bars, getting droughted, and that's gonna do it.
Both players are ready to go. Let me double check those seeds. I don't have my seed checkered like I would usually, but the seeds are good, so we will go ahead and get things started for game number 1 of this Division 1A Season 30 CTL match. Best of luck, players, in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And it is going to be an IL start. And both players finally getting this show on the road here for this Division 1A match. First Div 1 match that I'll be restreaming this season, but to confirm, in case anyone has only tuned in, these players will be doing level 18 starts for this match, and we will be re-rolling the seed for every new game. And now comes the time for a little bit about the players here. in Division 1A. Well, we'll just wait a second since Sodium now just waiting on a long bar. And we'll get it. Tetris for Sodium. But yes, on the left side here with a PB of 2.132 million. Sodium, of course, been in Div 1 for the longest time. The past few seasons, in fact, and right now is hoping to have a good run at getting back into the playoff contention here. Last season, Sodium did not compete, although the season before was in Division 1B and was in the mid-table area, finished in 6th place on 21 points, but comfortably avoided any relegation contention. Meanwhile, Neko was in the playoffs last season and made it all the way to, or well, made it into the playoffs and went out in the first round to Alex. But the season before that, season 28, made it all the way to the grand finals. But met the immovable wall of classic Tetris League, at least so far in the past 5 seasons, which was Blue Scooty. We'll end up winning that one, but Neko will be hoping for another good run to potentially be the one to finally dethrone Blue Scooty. We shall see what happens. 247 for Sodium, 273 for Neko after about 60 lines or so. Neko with a clean board right now. Sodium just waiting for the right pieces to get the well back open. Does get the well back open with a couple of very nice burns. Tetris for Neko. In CTL, you get 7 points for a win if you manage to sweep your opponent 3-0, 6 points for winning 3-1 while your opponent gets the other point, and 5 points with your opponent getting 2 if you win a match 3-2. The amount of games that you have won are indicated by the hearts that you see here on the middle of each player's layout here. They will go red with a game 1. Tetris for Neko. 348 Sodium, 433 for Neko, who gets the well back open. Tetris for Sodium again. Tetris for Neko. And another Tetris for both players again. Neko with a strong lead of about 90,000 points here. Tetris is worth 22,800 points on level 18, so as of right now, Neko ahead by near around 4 Tetrises. But it is still early days. Very early days for these 2 players who have shown on a consistent basis that they can play level 29 and beyond. Speaking of our Season 28 finalist, Neko, PB of 6.2 million roller out of the Russian Federation. Was ranked 8th place in our recent Premier poll that's done across the community, where top players and sort of media people in the Classic Tetris community alike all gather to rank the best players. Neko was ranked 8th place in that. Sodium, in the most recent ranking, ranked in 20th. But rising up the rankings, and We'll be hoping with an impressive CTL performance this month to rise up even further. Tetris, both players, 574 Sodium, 650 for Neko here. Tetris, Sodium, Tetris for Neko. Speed has now increased. And the stakes get higher as the amount of points per Tetris continues to increase by an extra 1,200 points per level from level 19 onwards. Sodium not quite in a Tetris-ready position right now, still just waiting on the right pieces to clean this up. Is getting some good pieces, might be able to uncover column 9, but Neko's center getting a bit high here. Does get the bar over for a Tetris with a beautiful roll over to the right-hand side. Sodium now setting up a dusty column for Tetris here, just waiting for that bar. Skims with the J, gets a triple with an L, and that Tetris for Sodium. Neko, though, with the lead by about 125,000 points over Sodium. That is 4 Tetrises and a bit, as Tetris is now worth 30,000 points on level 24. Tetris for Neko, now to 869. Hey now. Tetris again for Neko here. Nice double there. And a skim for Neko. There's the bar. There's the Tetris for Neko. Level 26, 939 to Sodium, 784. And another Tetris. Neko is not letting up or scaling back at all. Gets the max out in level 27, 809 for Neko, 794 for Sodium. Sodium with the dirty Tetris. And Sodium will surely be looking to maximize that scoring before going into level 29. Obviously, can play on 29, but it's never a good position to be in, to be behind your opponent by a significant margin going in there, because 29 can be just that unpredictable. Neko goes in, has an A89. Sodium has 6 lines to go, so can still get 2 Tetrises here. Tetris for Neko, B29 into level 30. Is ahead by 16 lines, so keep that in mind, that Neko does have a pretty big lead, but it's not as massive as the real-time score would suggest. Sodium with a 947 now into level 29 speeds too. And this might still very much come down to who is more aggressive and who is more consistent at scoring those Tetrises on these speeds. Neko is set up again here. Takes the triple, but set immediately back up again for another Tetris. Neko just waiting patiently. There's the bar. There's the Tetris. Aki bar into column 9. Now waiting for another bar. Sodium also trying to get set up here as well. Neko's Tetris ready. Keeping that stack where he would like it, but has to cover the well. Now needs to try to get it back open. Will Neko get the right pieces for it? No, and we'll top out at C11. So Sodium is in a chase down. Target is C12 for Sodium. Needs 200,000 points. But can Sodium get this down? Now on level 32, but center getting a little bit high. Awkward SZ burst, making things complicated for Sodium, and couldn't get that bar flipped over in time, so we'll top out at A30. Just the most unfortunate pieces there at the worst time. Players ready to go, so let's go ahead and keep this train moving. Game number 2. Best of luck to both players. Let's count it down from 3, 2, 1, Tetris. It's a ZL start for both players. And they both had similar placements up until about the 5th piece or so.